So the challenges for the entrepreneur, what you need to address are actually pretty straightforward from my perspective as an outsider and as a financial economist. You need to raise enough capital to reach the next value inflection point, to go from V sub t to V sub t plus 1, right? That's what you're trying to do, to reach the next milestone. So you got to have enough capital to do that. You don't want to take too much capital now because you don't want to unnecessarily dilute yourself. But you need to take enough capital to save for the rainy days, because when you need that next slug of capital, capital markets may not be there for you. So you need to plan for those potential disruptions. And you need to do all of this in some kind of measured way so that you are constantly moving the ball forward in terms of getting to that next value inflection point. And that has to do with managing the science as well as the business aspects. So the question is, how do we do this? And that has many different answers, but I'm going to focus on a couple. One is you've got to pay attention to the financing needs, the cost of capital, and the timelines of your various different programs. So this is something that I think scientists and typical biotech entrepreneurs have the hardest time doing, because you want to focus on the main reason that you started the company, the science. And that's the fun stuff for you. This stuff is all details. You need to partner with somebody or find the expertise to be able to address the stuff that is not fun for you, but that is absolutely critical for keeping the lights on. And it's something that needs to be addressed up front. It's not complicated, it really isn't. But to somebody who hasn't thought about things like net present value and cost of capital, it seems kind of foreign and mysterious, which is one of the reasons why we're creating an online course focused on healthcare finance to try to demystify some of that. The second thing you need to do is to focus on your current and potential investors and to communicate with them, because that's ultimately your source of capital. One of the reasons that you want to manage the process of the value inflection points, V0, V1, V2, is because you want to demonstrate that you are able to create value for shareholders. If I'm investing in a company at time V2, I want to know that V1 was much smaller than what V2 is because you've made money for the shareholders at V1. If V1 is much larger than V2, if it's a down round, I'm going to wonder what went wrong. Why are you selling at a much lower price than the previous investors bought in at? And am I going to get that same treatment when we go to V3 and V4?